Seeing Yin Xiangren becoming increasingly lost in his own fervor, Li Fan finally could not help but interrupt. Is all of this merely your conjecture, or? Yin Xiangren grinned broadly. Once, it was only speculation, but now, I have already proven it. As his words fell, his body suddenly split apart down the middle, peeling open left and right. From within his organs and flesh, another identical face of Yin Xiangren emerged. Both the inner and outer faces spoke together in eerie unison. 10 years ago, I used myself as a curio to forge my Tao foundation. At last, Li Fan understood why Yin Xiangren's speech always echoed strangely. With one voice slightly ahead and the other trailing behind, there had literally been another self hidden inside his body. The grotesque spectacle sent an icy chill racing down Li Fan's spine. Fortunately, Yin Xiangren seemed aware of how horrifying his true appearance was. After exposing it for only an instant, his body fused back together. Restoring his ordinary exterior, he continued calmly. I used myself as the experimental subject to verify my hypothesis. Everything that exists beneath heaven and earth may be regarded as an unfinished curio, the process of refinement within heaven and earth's crucible. I call curio forging. Yin Xiangren let out a dark, unsettling chuckle and said, However, if one wishes to employ an unfinished curio to establish a Tao foundation, then one must personally complete the curio forging process. The difficulty is unimaginably great. Failure means instant death at best. And even if one survives by some miracle, the body will suffer grotesque transformations, much like the miserable state I now endure. Unable to suppress his curiosity, Li Fan asked, Didn't you claim that you succeeded in establishing your foundation? Yin Xiangren's expression darkened with unmistakable regret. I succeeded, but only partially. My understanding of myself was still insufficient. At the final moment, when perfection was within my grasp, I failed. If only I could attempt it a few more times. No, even just once more, if I were granted another opportunity, I would undoubtedly forge a flawless self-foundation. Self-foundation? The phrase immediately captured Li Fan's full attention. If one were truly successful in using oneself as the foundation, what exactly would result? Yin Xiangren's eyes gleamed with fanatical yearning. It would be equivalent to borrowing the power of heaven and earth's crucible itself to completely reconstruct your body. Such a body would become the most perfect constitution imaginable. There is an old saying, that which suits you best is what is truly supreme. In modern foundation establishment, cultivators seek curios of heaven and earth that resonate with their nature in order to maximize compatibility. Yet no matter how extraordinary a curio of heaven and earth may be, even a fabled curio of heaven itself, none could ever rival a true self-foundation. Consider it carefully. What could possibly suit you better than your own being? Your Tao foundation would merge with you absolutely. Every divine ability, every cultivation method, would become as innate as breathing itself. From then onward, I imagine you would master any technique instantly, achieving profound mastery the moment you learned it. Having already obtained the knowledge he sought, Li Fan had no wish to remain any longer. Although Yin Xiangren likely harbored no malicious intent, the atmosphere here was simply too unsettling. Thus, Li Fan decisively chose to depart. Thank you for resolving my doubts. Now that my questions have been answered, I shall not trouble you further. Yin Xiangren attempted repeatedly to persuade him to stay, but Li Fan politely refused every effort. Fellow Taoist, remember to test my self-foundation method. Yin Xiangren urged earnestly before their parting. Li Fan repeatedly assured him that he would, then swiftly departed without delay. Long after Li Fan's figure had disappeared into the distance, Yin Xiangren murmured softly to himself, You truly must try it. I genuinely have not deceived you. After a prolonged silence, he once more fell quiet. Then he slowly turned and returned to the massive rectangular transparent cage. He said with deep regret, What a pity, not even one survived. My test subjects are running dangerously low. It seems I shall need to venture out once more. Amid grinding, mechanical sounds, the dissolved remains of mortals were cleared from the 4 cages. Soon, a fresh batch of living test subjects appeared within the enclosures, and anguished screams once again echoed throughout the structure. Yin Xiangren, long since numb to such horrific sights and sounds, showed no visible reaction. His eyes remained fixed upon the rectangular transparent prison as he tightly clutched the white rib bone in his hand. In a nearly obsessive whisper, he muttered, "Don't worry, I will avenge you. I will uncover the one who created the immortal miasma. I will avenge you." Myriad Immortals Island. Once back within the Tianqian mirror, Li Fan searched extensively for records concerning the self-foundation method. It was not some forbidden secret, yet across the cultivation world, it was universally regarded as little more than an absurd joke, with no cultivator taking it seriously. The reason was simple. Every person who had attempted it had died in catastrophic failure during foundation establishment. Self-foundation. Naturally, Li Fan did not wholly trust everything Yin Xiangren had said, yet one particular statement resonated deeply. Everything in heaven and earth could be regarded as an unfinished curio. Then what of return to truth? The mysterious power that had allowed him to cycle through countless lifetimes. Could it too be one of these curios of heaven and earth? And if so, might it be possible to forge return to truth into his own Tao foundation? His avatar, Lin Fan, immediately began investigating all available knowledge regarding foundation establishment. Preliminary discussion on foundation establishment, heaven, earth, and man, records of 100 foundation establishments. Li Fan continuously redeemed and absorbed one text after another. Currently, attempting to use return to truth for foundation establishment is still far too dangerous. In this lifetime, it would be wiser to wait for the Deep Sea Pearl's appearance, and instead use it as the basis for foundation establishment. In his previous life, he had once become one with the sea itself, borrowing its consciousness to comprehend heaven and earth. His affinity with the Deep Sea Pearl was already near perfect. So using it would undoubtedly produce twice the result with half the effort. Now, more than half of Anchor Year 13 had already passed. Only 7 or 8 years remained before Crimson Flame would scorch the sea and the Deep Sea Pearl would emerge. Yet during this waiting period, Li Fan was far from idle in deepening his understanding of foundation establishment. Formless killing mechanism. Heaven watches and earth listens. Activate. Li Fan's attention turned toward Zhang Haoba. Nearly 3 months have passed since I last observed him. He has already reached late-stage Qi refinement. His eyes remain shut, his breathing has ceased, and even the spiritual Qi throughout his body lies in complete stillness. What profound mystery is he comprehending? The endless storm showed no indication of subsiding. Li Fan could only maintain a fragment of awareness focused on Zhang Haoba, while redirecting the majority of his attention back toward the Tianqian mirror. Betting everything upon a single person is unwise. I need a broader web. I have yet to test how many individuals formless killing mechanism can simultaneously lock onto. Perhaps I can experiment using cultivators approaching foundation establishment. When gathering intelligence was concerned, Li Fan immediately thought of Jiao Xiuyuan. Though greedy and cowardly, the man's information network was undeniably dependable, and Li Fan was already one of his frequent customers. Concealing his aura, Li Fan made his way with practiced familiarity toward Thousandly Hall. Before he even entered, Jiao Xiuyuan's irritated voice rang out from within. "I already gathered everything you requested. When exactly are you coming to collect it? How many times must I remind you? Don't give me that nonsense about being too busy. I bet you just don't want it anymore." Hey! Damn it! Upon entering, Li Fan found Jiao Xiuyuan's face twisted in visible frustration. Another failed investment, Taoist Jiao? Li Fan teased with amusement. The moment he saw a customer, Jiao Xiuyuan's expression instantly transformed into one of warm hospitality. But hearing Li Fan's jab caused his smile to falter once more. Chuckling awkwardly, he replied, "Whatever do you mean, fellow Taoist? I, Jiao, have never once conducted business at a loss." Then through clenched teeth, he muttered bitterly, "That little brat actually dared play me. Does he really think Jiao Xiuyuan is so easy to fool?" Li Fan had heard such complaints from him many times before and merely smiled without comment. His attention shifted toward the small cauldron resting upon the table. "Fellow Taoist Jiao, this small cauldron." Jiao Xiuyuan's eyes instantly brightened, and he launched into an enthusiastic sales pitch. "This cauldron is extraordinary. I endured immense hardship to retrieve it from the ruins of a fallen sect." Li Fan's curiosity stirred. "Oh? And what purpose does it serve? Jiao Shuyuan lowered his voice mysteriously. Have you ever heard of the illustrious Medicine King sect? I have not, Li Fan admitted with a slight shake of his head. Jiao Shuyuan's smile froze momentarily. Fortunately, his professional instincts quickly recovered, and he immediately explained. The Medicine King sect was among the most illustrious sects of ancient times, renowned throughout the cultivation world for alchemy and spirit herb cultivation. It is said that after the immortal Venerable spread the Tao, but before the Great Reformation, the sect master of the Medicine King sect, Lu Rukin, foresaw a great upheaval approaching. Thus, using the Medicine King cauldron as his vessel, Lu Rukin tore through the void itself, shattered the world's boundaries, and departed this realm together with the entirety of the Medicine King sect. This was the first time Li Fan had encountered such a tale. They broke through the boundaries of this world. Where did they go? Jiao Shuyuan shrugged casually. It happened thousands of years ago. Who can truly know? Perhaps they journeyed to one of the surrounding minor worlds. Perhaps they entered an entirely new world altogether. But that is hardly the important part. The truly important part is this cauldron itself. Li Fan nodded faintly, but at the same moment, his avatar Lin Fan rapidly searched the Tianxian mirror for the term world. Relevant records surfaced instantly. The price, however, was astonishing, over 1,000 contribution points. He purchased them without hesitation and began reading. The cultivation world they currently inhabited was not the sole world in existence. Surrounding it were countless attached minor worlds and independent miniature grotto heavens. Beyond the endless void, there also existed entirely separate worlds akin to their own, before the Great Reformation. The flourishing ancient cultivation civilization had maintained substantial communication and exchanges with these external realms. Cultivators of that age referred to themselves collectively as cultivators of the Xianhuan world. Li Fan paused, deep in contemplation. The Xianhuan world. Could the Xianhuan Heart Clarification Sutra truly be an inheritance passed down since ancient times? Yet the immortal miasma had not existed in that era. The chronology does not align. What truly transpired in that forgotten age remained obscured in mystery, with even the Tianxian mirror offering no definitive historical record. Yet one fact remained certain: some cultivators had indeed survived from that ancient era into the present, such as the white-haired elderly Fan had once encountered. However, without exception, all of them maintained strict silence, burying that era beneath layers of uncertainty and fog. While Li Fan was immersed in thought, Jiao Shuyuan noticed his prolonged silence, and waved the small cauldron directly before his eyes. Fellow Taoist, what do you think? Are you buying this mini Medicine King cauldron or not? Li Fan returned to himself, his expression unchanged. What exactly is this cauldron used for? Could you explain it once more, fellow Taoist Jiao? I was distracted by another matter just now. Jiao Shuyuan sighed helplessly and patiently repeated. This mini Medicine King cauldron was originally used by disciples of the Medicine King sect to cultivate various spirit herbs and plants. It contains an internal spatial realm, and continuously generates wood-attributed spiritual qi on its own, greatly accelerating herb growth. Li Fan frowned slightly upon hearing this. If it truly is such a treasure, then why would its previous owner simply abandon it? Jiao Shuyuan gave an awkward smile, not even bothering to fabricate a lie. Haven't you heard, fellow Taoist? The Myriad Immortals Alliance has already begun selling the first massive harvest of spirit herbs from the newly discovered wood-attributed spiritual qi grotto heaven. The supply is simply overwhelming, causing market prices to collapse entirely. Jiao Shuyuan spread his hands helplessly.